In the heart of the ancient world, between the Tigris and Euphrates River, lies a land we know as Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. It's here that humanity began to develop monumental art and architecture that not only told stories, but also defined how people view power, life, and the divine. Over the next few minutes, we will explore 7 pieces of art and architecture from this ancient region. These works transcend time, providing us with a glimpse into how civilizations in Mesopotamia expressed their authority and spiritual beliefs through art. Let's begin with the stele of Naram Sin, created around 2254 to 2218 BCE. This limestone slab commemorates a significant military victory by Naram Sin, the king of the Akkadian Empire. Notice how Naram Sin dominates the scene. He's by far the largest figure, emphasizing his importance. His horned helmet, a symbol usually reserved for gods, asserts his divine authority. In this piece, Naram Sin is portrayed almost like a god himself, standing above his enemies, who are depicted as small and defeated, begging for mercy. This artwork doesn't just capture a battle, it's a statement about the king's divine rule, right to rule, and his ability to shape his own destiny through divine favor. Here, art and power are inseparable. Next, we turn to the stele of Hammurabi, dated around 1792 to 1750 BCE. This, this basalt monument immortalizes the Comb of Hammurabi, one of the earliest and most comprehensive sets of laws in human history. At the top of the stele, Hammurabi is seen receiving the laws from Shamash, the sun god and the god of justice. By placing himself in the prison of Shamash, Hammurabi is not only legitimizing his rule, but also presenting himself as a divine instrument of justice. The code itself outlines hundreds of laws ensuring that justice prevails through this empire. Through this artwork, Hammurabi communicated his role as both king and protector of order, making divine law the foundation of his rule. One of the most impressive architectural feats in Mesopotamia is the ziggurat of Ur. Built around 2100 BCE, this massive step pyramid was dedicated to the moon god Nanna. The ziggurat served not only as a religious center, but also as a symbol of the divine connection between the heavens and the earth. With this towering structure, it was a physical manifestation of the city-state's power. The ziggurat was built with ramps leading to the temple at the top, with where priests would ascend to perform sacred rituals, reinforcing the idea that the king's rule was supported by divine favor. This structure wasn't just a temple, it was a symbol of sacred authority that the rulers of Ur claimed over their people. The carved vessel of Uruk from around 3300 BCE is another fascinating artifact. This vessel features a narrative divided into 3 horizontal registers. The lower register shows the natural world, plants and animals, which is a symbol of Earth's fertility. The middle register depicts men carrying food to a temple, while the top register shows the goddess Inanna receiving offerings. This vessel likely represents the sacred marriage between Inanna and Dumuzi, a fertility myth central to Sumerian belief. Through this artwork, the people of Uruk express their reliance on the gods for fertility and prosperity. It's a beautiful example of how art was used to honor the divine and ensure survival of the city. Another remarkable figure in Mesopotamian art is the votive statue of Gudea, a ruler from the city-state of Lagash. Created around 2090 BCE from diorite, the statue represents Gudea with serene, wide-open eyes and a posture that reflects humility before the gods. In his hands he holds a vessel from which water flows, an everlasting symbol of life and prosperity. These statues were placed in temples as an act of devotion, reinforcing Gudea's role as a ruler who served gods. Through this artwork, Gudea shows that his power was divinely granted and that his primary role was to act as a steward for the divine will. The Standard of Ur is one of the most famous pieces of early narrative art. From around 2600 BCE, this artifact is divided into two sides, one depicting a battle scene and the other showing a royal banquet. On the battle side, the king is portrayed in a hieratic scale, larger than his soldiers and enemies, emphasizing his dominance. The defeated enemies are shown in disarray, highlighting the king military's prowess. The other side of the standard shifts to a celebratory banquet, with the king seated at the center, flanked by attendants and musicians. Through this contrast, the Standard of Ur illustrates the cycle of conquest and celebration, showcasing the king's role as both a warrior and a provider for his people. Finally, we arrive to the Ishtar Gate of Babylon, built around 575 BCE. This stunning entry to the city of Babylon was dedicated to the goddess Ishtar and is adorned with rows of animals, lions, dragons, and bulls, each representing different deities. The Ishtar Gate not only functioned as a gateway, but also as a statement of power. Its elaborate design and vibrant colors symbolize the wealth and military strength of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. The gate was part of a large ceremonial complex where the king would lead processions in honor of the gods. Through this monumental work, the Babylonians communicated their belief in divine protection and the king's role as a guardian of the people. All the aforementioned works of art and architecture reveal how Mesopotamian rulers used creativity to project their divine power. Each piece tells a story, whether it's military conquest, lawmaking, or religious devotion, shaping not only the identity of the kings, but also the future of the civilizations. Through these magnificent works, we see that in Mesopotamia, art was never just about beauty. It was a powerful tool for communicating authority, reinforcing belief systems, and immortalizing the deeds of rulers. In the end, these pieces remind us of the art we create is not just a reflection of our culture, but a way to shape the future.